What if I told you that you've been wasting 80% of your effort on things that barely matter? Imagine getting 4 times the results while doing less work. This isn't wishful thinking, it's a scientifically proven principle used by the world's top performers and most successful companies. In the next 11 minutes, I'll reveal the counterintuitive secret that productivity experts don't want you to know. Working harder on everything is the enemy of true success. And I'll show you exactly how to identify your critical 20% that delivers massive results. Today, we're diving into one of the most powerful concepts in productivity and success, the Pareto Principle, also known as the 80-20 rule. This principle states that roughly 80% of your results come from just 20% of your efforts. Think about that. Most of what you're doing right now might be giving you minimal returns. The stakes are high. The average person wastes years of their life on low-impact activities while neglecting the few things that would transform their results. But by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to identify and focus on your critical 20% in any area of life, whether that's your career, fitness, relationships, or personal growth. Let's unlock the power of strategic focus. The 80-20 principle was discovered in 1896 by Italian economist Vilfredo Pareto. He noticed that 80% of the land in Italy was owned by just 20% of the population. What started as an observation about wealth distribution turned out to be a universal law that applies to virtually everything. Microsoft found that fixing the top 20% of reported bugs eliminates 80% of related errors and crashes. Amazon discovered that 80% of their profits come from 20% of their products. And in sales, research consistently shows that 80% of revenue comes from 20% of clients. But this isn't just about business. A study from the University of California found that people spend 80% of their time with just 20% of their acquaintances. And fitness experts have confirmed that 80% of your muscle growth comes from just 20% of your exercises. The principle isn't always exactly 80-20, sometimes it's 70-30 or even 90-10, but the fundamental insight remains: a small number of causes create a disproportionate amount of results. Here's where most people go wrong. They treat all tasks, relationships, and opportunities equally. They spread their energy evenly across everything, which dilutes their impact on the vital few things that truly matter. This misunderstanding leads to burnout, frustration, and mediocre results. You feel busy all the time but don't see meaningful progress. That's because you're violating a natural law of success. The good news? Once you understand how to apply the Pareto Principle, you can achieve breakthrough results with less effort than you're exerting now. The first step is to identify your critical 20%. The small portion of your activities that produce the majority of your results. Start by selecting one area of your life you want to improve. It could be your productivity at work, your health and fitness, your relationships, or even your finances. Now, create a list of all the activities you regularly engage in within that area. For example, if you chose work productivity, list out all your typical weekly tasks. Next, answer these 3 powerful questions for each activity. First, if I could only do one thing on this list, which would give me the best results? Circle that item. Second, if I could only do one more thing, what would it be? Circle that too. Third, what activities consume most of my time but produce little meaningful progress? Mark these with an X. The items you've circled likely represent your vital 20%. The items marked with an X are your trivial 80%, the things eating up your time without giving much in return. Let's look at a real example. A restaurant chain analysed their menu performance and discovered that just 20% of their dishes accounted for 80% of their profits and customer satisfaction ratings. Meanwhile, they were spending considerable time and resources maintaining specialised ingredients for rarely ordered items that contributed minimally to their bottom line. This realisation allowed them to streamline their menu, focus on perfecting their most popular dishes, and significantly reduce food waste while actually increasing overall customer satisfaction. Remember, identifying your critical 20% isn't about guessing. It requires honest analysis of where your results are actually coming from. Now that you've identified your vital 20% and your trivial 80%, it's time to reclaim your energy and attention by dealing with the low-impact activities. You have 3 powerful options for handling the trivial 80%. Option 1. Eliminate. Ask yourself, what would happen if I simply stopped doing this? Many tasks only exist because of habit or perceived obligation. Be ruthless here. If a task doesn't directly support your goals or well-being, consider eliminating it entirely. Option 2. Delegate. For necessary tasks that don't represent your highest contribution, find ways to delegate. This doesn't always mean hiring someone. It could mean using technology, trading tasks with a colleague, or finding other creative solutions. Option 3. Streamline. For tasks you must do yourself, find ways to make them more efficient. Can you batch similar tasks together? Create templates. Automate parts of the process. Let me show you how this works in practice. A marketing executive analysed her communication habits and discovered she was spending over 2 hours daily on emails that rarely moved key projects forward. By implementing a simple system, checking email twice daily instead of constantly, using templates for common responses and unsubscribing from newsletters, she reduced email time to 30 minutes daily. That created 7.5 extra hours weekly to invest in critical 20% activities, the ones that actually drive results. The key is to be intentional. Don't let the trivial many crowd out the vital few. Remember, saying yes to one thing means saying no to something else. Make sure you're saying yes to the right things. Now comes the most powerful step, doubling down on your critical 20%. This is where exponential results happen. First, schedule your high-impact activities during your peak performance periods. We all have times of day when we're sharper, more creative, and more focused. Reserve these golden hours for your 20% activities only. Second, remove all distractions during these critical work periods. Research from the University of California found that it takes an average of 23 minutes to regain deep focus after an interruption. That's devastating to your productivity on high-leverage tasks. Third, invest in improving your skills and tools specifically related to your 20% activities. Even small improvements in your critical areas create outsized returns. Fourth, measure and track your results. What gets measured gets improved, and your 20% activities deserve careful attention. Let me share a powerful example from the fitness industry. When a personal training company identified that compound exercises were in their clients' critical 20%, they restructured their programs to dedicate the most energetic part of each session to these key movements. They also invested in advanced training, specifically on perfecting form for these exercises, and started tracking which workout protocols produced the best client results. The result? Their clients' fitness outcomes improved by 52% over 3 months, while their total workout time actually decreased. This is the counterintuitive magic of the Pareto principle. By doing less but focusing on the right things, you achieve dramatically better results. Once you've mastered the basic 80-20 approach, you can apply what I call Pareto stacking to achieve even more remarkable results. This means applying the 80-20 rule to your 20%, finding the 20% of your already high-leverage activities that produce 80% of those results. This creates a 4% that delivers 64% of your total outcomes. For example, if content creation is in your vital 20%, you might discover that creating content about certain specific topics generates 80% of your engagement. By focusing even more narrowly, you amplify your impact exponentially. Another advanced technique is Pareto timing, identifying not just what activities matter most, but when they matter most. In sales, reaching out to prospects between 4 and 6 p.m. on Thursdays might be exponentially more effective than any other time. The third advanced application is Pareto combination, finding where 2 or more 20% factors intersect. For instance, if your top 20% clients mainly buy your top 20% products, focusing on this specific combination can yield extraordinary results. Remember, the deeper you apply the 80-20 principle, the more leverage you create. This is how top performers in any field achieve seemingly impossible results, not by working harder than everyone else, but by working smarter on the things that truly matter. The Pareto principle isn't just a productivity hack, it's a fundamental shift in how you approach your time, energy, and attention. By identifying your critical 20%, eliminating or streamlining the trivial 80%, and doubling down on your high-leverage activities, you can transform your results in any area of life. Imagine what you could achieve if you stopped spreading yourself thin and instead concentrated your best energy on the few things that truly matter. The choice is yours. Continue working harder on everything, or work smarter on the vital few. If you found this valuable, hit that like button and subscribe for more evidence-based strategies to transform your life. And here's something special for you. We've created a free 21-day success rewiring blueprint that's helped thousands achieve breakthrough results in record time. Just click the link in the comments below to download it instantly. Until then, remember, it's not about doing more things, it's about doing the right things.